Hi and welcome to this video. Here we have a small bay nestled in the rugged, beautiful Western Highlands of Scotland. The name is Scottish Gaelic and there are many suggestions of its meaning. Some suggestions are the Bay of the Stranger, the Bay of the Pledge, Promise or Wager, and the Bay of Churches is also suggested, but hints at its ancient and mysterious past. This beautiful place is more than just a scenic coastal retreat. It is a location steeped in history, archaeology and cultural significance. It's varied landscaped with stunning natural beauty and historical artefacts scattered across the bay invites visitors to not only appreciate the present but also delve deep into Scotland's prehistoric and early historic periods. The bay itself is quiet and relatively secluded, offering a sense of timelessness and isolation. The bay's natural beauty has long attracted people to its shores, while today it serves as a peaceful retreat for hikers and tourists. It has been inhabited and used by people for thousands of years, each generation leaving their mark on the landscape. Its relative remoteness has ensured that much of its history has been preserved, offering valuable insights into Scotland's past. One of the most striking features is its archaeological significance, especially connections to the prehistoric Scotland. The area is home to several Neolithic and Bronze Age relics that testify to human activity dating back millennia. The first thing we come across is the Neolithic Burial Can. Such cairns were constructed by ancient communities to honour the dead, making the final resting places of important individuals, and what a stunning place this is. I couldn't find if there was any Neolithic settlements close by, or it could have been that people brought their ancestral remains here, but some people do suggest that the Neolithic people did bring their remains of their loved ones to special areas like this rather than living close by. The rectangular building close to this burial cairn, we'll come back to that one. Near the beach is a standing stone over 2.3 metres high, positioned here during the Bronze Age. The stone was later engraved with Christian images. These carvings possibly date to the time of the coming of Saint Columba, after he began his west coast journeys in 563 AD and founded the abbey at Iona. The carvings include a Latin cross with a wedge-shaped sidearms, a central crosslet and large pellets in the angles. At the top is an equal armed cross above an animal with a curved tail, perhaps a dog. As time progressed, the area continued to play a role in the lives of its inhabitants. During the Iron Age, the bay became the site of a fortified settlement, perched on a nearby hill overlooking the water. These were typically defensive structures built by local clans or tribal groups. offering protection against rival communities. The presence of such a fortress suggests that the strategic value of the bay was recognised early on, particularly its vantage point over the surrounding landscape and sea routes. In the field there are 5 circular marks, which are believed to be around 5 metres in diameter and thought to be Iron Age hut circles. So if they are Iron Age, then we have the first evidence of a settlement here. Towards the end of the 8th century, the Vikings arrived on this coast, first as raiders and later to settle. Could you imagine standing on this beach, seeing Viking ships coming in? What a perfect place to use as a protective haven. Yet sad to say that I couldn't find any evidence of any Viking occupations were found here, but that's not to say that they didn't, for I am pretty sure there is more to find under the ground we walk around. What we do know is that at some point a small community did start here. It seems not much is known about this early settlement. We know that the bay has a connection to the Scottish clans, particularly Clan MacIan, who once held sway over the area from the 14th until the early 17th century. I expect this settlement was mainly agricultural produce, perhaps to help feed the clan's chief, as well, I am sure, to provide men for the clan's army in times of war. Over time, this clan's land was being taken over by the Campbell's clan, and behind the Bronze Age standing stone you will find the Campbell's burial ground. There are only a few graves in the ground. The area, it was so overgrown when I visited. In time the settlement was cleared and the area turned into area of sheep farming, with only a few people remaining to tend the sheep. Some have suggested that this might have been part of the Highland Clearances, where a series of forced evictions that took place in Scotland during the 18th and 19th century, dramatically altering the social and cultural landscape of the Highlands. Landlords, driven by economic motives, sought to replace traditional clan-based farming communities with more profitable sheep farming. As a result, thousands of Highlanders were displaced from their ancestral lands, often with little warning or compensation, leading to widespread poverty, migration to urban areas, and emigration, particularly to North America. The clearances are remembered as a dark period in Scottish history, symbolising the harsh consequences of economic change and the loss of the way of life deeply rooted in the Highland identity. But that is only a suggestion. That is what happened here. Whatever happened, it soon became one large farming area. In 1737 the bay was in the hands of Alexander Campbell. From records that was prepared in the same year, the settlement had a population of 35, 9 of which were men, 13 were women, and 13 children. There was around 70 cattle, 70 sheep, and it also included 15 horses. William Roy was a military engineer and surveyor who played a crucial role in the development of modern mapping of Britain. Following the Jacobite Rising, the British government saw the need for detailed maps to better control Scotland. Roy was commissioned to carry out this task, leading to the Military Survey of Scotland, also known as the Great Map. This survey, conducted between 1747 and 1755, was the first comprehensive and systematic mapping of Scotland, covering both the Highlands and Lowlands. William Roy was an important man in the mapping of Britain, for on the 23rd of December 1755, William was appointed as a practitioner engineer, thus gaining military rank for the first time, at the same time as military priorities elsewhere took him away from Scotland. Roy drafted maps of southern England in 1756 due to concern over French invasion, and regularly promoted the idea of a complete triangulation system of Britain. William passed away in 1790, so didn't see the start of the foundation of the Trigonometrical Survey of Great Britain in 1791. This was later to become the Ordnance Survey. But when William visited the area during his time mapping the Scottish military maps, there was no houses in use and only a few in the area close to the Neolithic Can, suggesting that the settlement had already been cleared. The land at the time was being farmed by Alexander Campbell as a tenant farmer. The land changed hands many times, and if you'd like to know more, I will put a link to a great website in the description below. The structure by the burial mound has suggested that it may have been the site of the original chapel, though there is also a suggestion that the chapel existed within the graveyard. But this, it seems, is only a suggestion that has been made. But if you look around, there are still remains of buildings where people once lived, farmed, and raised their families while living in a community. Hard to believe it now, looking at the area. Today, the bay is a place where history, nature, and culture converge. Visitors are drawn not only to its natural beauty, but also to the deep sense of history that pervades the landscape. The standing stones, the burial cairns, historic graveyards all serve as a reminder of the generations who lived here, worshipped, fought, and died in this remote corner of Scotland. The bay's isolation has helped preserve the layers of historical treasures, making it a valuable site for both archaeologists and tourists seeking a connection to Scotland's past. It is a beautiful area to visit and spend time here. I'll put some details on how to find this place in the description below, for it really is worth a visit. Before I go, I'd like to say a really big thanks to the viewers and subscribers of the channel, to the patrons and to those who have bought me a coffee. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Your support has made it all worthwhile, and I'm grateful beyond words. So if you're new here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also click that notification bell so you'll never miss an update. And until the next time, stay safe.